Finally, a break in the mowing. This is Robin. I garden in Zone 6 in Northwest Connecticut. I'm going to plant garlic for the first time, and I wanted to bring you along and tell you what I've learned about garlic from a friend who is a garlic farmer, and watching other people plant garlic. This is my first time, so I'm going to be planting it in the raised trough beds that I got this year. That I had tomatoes in here and I had carrots. So let's get planting. So today we're going to plant garlic, and I can't believe it, yet again somebody is mowing. I just can't win with the mowing thing. It's either they're mowing, they're blowing leaves, they're doing something, they're cutting trees down. I don't know, I can't win. So let me tell you what I've learned about garlic. This is my first time planting garlic, but I have a very, very dear friend who is an expert garlic planter. He plants like 8,000 bulbs. So there are two different kinds of garlic, hardneck and softneck. I'm going to be planting a variety called Music. It's a hardneck variety, and it's got a hard neck. The actual neck goes down through the entire bulb. Soft neck varieties grow like artichokes in that like vase shape, petal shape, where they grow on top of one another. So you're going to take your bulb, you're going to separate it into cloves, and each one is going to get planted pointy side up. You don't have to take the paper skin off. Up 3 inches down, about 4 inches apart. So I've already taken these apart. We're going to plant the bigger bulbs, and I'll tell you more about this. I'll go inside and talk, because it's ridiculous with the constant mowing. I just can't get away from. Never fails that somebody's mowing or doing something when I want to be shooting a video. So I've already loosened my soil. You can see this is a raised bed. You could also do this in a grow bag. If you remember earlier this year, I did carrots in grow bags, and they grew great. That was great. I'm going to definitely do that again. So I only want to plant a few. I do use a ton of garlic, I will say. And so I thought this would be great to try, because I've never done it and I wanted to try it. So we're going to get all these in, and then we're going to cover them up. So I loosened my soil. This one's a little small. I don't know if it'll grow. So the one thing, hardneck garlic versus softneck garlic. Hardneck garlic actually produces scapes. So that's the growing stalk that comes up in the hardneck garlic. So I put some fertilizer, slow release fertilizer in the ground, and we're just going to go back and cover these up. Then I'm going to mulch over this with either some shredded leaves, which we have a million of, or we have some hay, maybe we'll do that. It doesn't make a difference. And the thing with garlic is it's really a super long crop. So you plant it now in the fall, it doesn't get harvested till next summer, which is kind of, very foreign to a lot of gardeners. So actually, let me pop that over here by the end so I know where I finished. So again, I'm planting a variety called Music, and it's very simple. You're just going to pull the bulbs apart and plant them in the ground. It's a pretty simple process, 3 inches deep and 4 inches apart. Like I said, my friend Carl plants 8,000 bulbs of garlic. He has a farm. So I'm listening to what he's told me. And let's go inside and we'll talk a little bit more about garlic. But hopefully you can see how simple this was. And I love garlic. We use it all the time. And I'm going to show you a trick that a chef in Italy taught me this year about garlic. So if garlic bothers your stomach or gives you an upset stomach, or you just don't want that aftertaste, I got a good trick for you. So let's go do that.
So when we were outside, I told you I would tell you a trick that I learned from a chef on my recent trip to Italy. This is not something I ever knew. And considering how much garlic I use, I'm like totally blown away. So when you separate your your bulb into cloves. you're going to then, you want to remove the soul. Let me show you what that is. Hold on. So what is the soul of the garlic? It's this little piece in the center. This is where the actual bulb starts to grow. The chef that we had told us that when you remove that, if you have issues digesting garlic, or you don't like the aftertaste, if you remove that and it's called the soul, you won't have any problems. This is the coolest trick I've ever learned about garlic. Besides, how do you get the skin off garlic? So, there are little tricks. You can use, one of these things, and you can put your clove in there and you can roll it back and forth or whatever. And that helps remove the skin. Some garlic has stickier skin than others. I do find that's one thing that drives me crazy. But again, so you're removing the absolute center right there. And that's called the soul of the garlic. So I hope you find this helpful. I have found it very helpful. The reason that we found this out is because the couple we were traveling with in Italy, he really has an issue with garlic. And so our chef was telling us this cool little trick. So I hope you found that helpful. And let's continue to talk about garlic. So when I was outside planting the garlic, I told you I planted a variety called Music. Rule number 1, always label each variety you're planting immediately, because you won't know otherwise what they are. Music is a famous hardneck porcelain type of garlic, which is my favorite. It's a white skinned with just a blush of pink, makes big cloves, and they're ready to peel. Its taste is like medium hot. It's a real true garlic. Music has an exceptional shelf life, and it'll store about 9 months to a year, and it's very cold tolerant. This variety was originally brought from Italy in 1980 by Al Music, a Canadian grower. Okay, that's good enough for me. I love all things Italian. It matures in about 240 days, and always buy, please, from a reputable grower. So in my zone 6A, garlic doesn't need vernalization, which simply means a cold period. But if you're in a warmer climate, you probably do. So as I showed you, you first separate the cloves from the bulb and discard any damaged ones. You plant it pointy side up, 3 inches down, 4 inches apart. Mend the soil with compost and organic fertilizer. Loosen the soil. Mulch with shredded leaves or clean straw. And then water in, and then don't water again until next spring. Typically in New England, garlic is planted about like 4 to 6 weeks before the ground freezes. So garlic is an allium, and there are 2 types. Hardneck, that's what I planted, has cloves that grow in a single circle around a central stem. The neck goes all the way down through the bulb with typically larger cloves. Hardneck garlic grows scapes, which are edible. And they're the flowering stalk of the garlic, like a curlicue. You can basically use it just like a scallion. So soft necks produce cloves in several layers around a soft central stem, like an artichoke, and I think you can see that here. I've heard it's better for warmer climates, and hardnecks better for colder climates, but I've heard other opinions too. Either way, garlic does not like to be overcrowded, and it's a long crop that's planted in the fall and harvested the following summer after about 8 to 10 months. You can do it in grow bags, like I did my carrots and radishes this year. It goes dormant in winter, and it's a relatively pest and maintenance-free vegetable, I guess you'd call it. So next summer, it gets harvested when the top 4 to 5 leaves are slightly green and lower leaves are dry. Then the bulbs need to be cured after digging in a well-ventilated area for like 3 to 4 weeks. Then you can cut the foliage and the roots and store them in mesh bags. As I mentioned, I got my garlic from a good friend who's a garlic farmer who has encouraged me to give it a try, so I'm in. Let me know, do you grow garlic, and what tips do you have for all of us? Please subscribe and hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next video.